My third guy plays some games.
All right, hi everybody, Weather Guy here, and we are back with some more great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are continuing after the conclusion of the Cloud at Kokoro. I believe that's how you say it. Anyway, we're at the attic of Herlock Sholmes' place, and I believe we're supposed to be having dinner. Let's see what happens. I have no idea. So this is to be our new office, yes. Our office? I rather like the sound of that. Me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it? That's pretty good. I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step, but I'd like to think we're getting a little closer to your dream now. So, my dear fellows, do you like the place? Try not to be too loud tonight because kiddo's sleeping. Dude, Herlock Sholmes looks great. Look at that outfit. It's incredible. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, thank you so much. It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it. Good. I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you. I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. We'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate. Mr. Natsume is going to die 1,000,000% before he gets here. Iris, you must let me help you. Alright then, Susie. You can be in charge of the salad. Let's turn this down a bit for me. Splendid. Dude, he looks so much more normal now. So, Mr. Ria, how does it feel to have your own office in the capital? It's very exciting, actually. I can't help but wondering what adventures await us. Ah, those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is. Sorry. London is a glorious place full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth. The brightest of lights cast the darkest of shadows. Shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. So, once again, Mr. Rio. Welcome to London! Fantastic, that's what we like to see. Now, let's see what happens. Is it dinner time? Of course, at the time, I had no idea the significance of those words Mrs. Sholmes so casually spoke. But it wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lay behind it. Oh boy. Oh, I was this close to the end of the chapter last time? I thought there was more. I'm sorry. Landed in London for completion of episode 4 of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Fantastic. So we're going to get into episode 5 now, presumably. What's it called? The Adventure of the Unspeakable Story. Oh, this is interesting. Look at the frame of this, the shadow. It's Holmes' shadow, not Ryu's. Oh. Alright. Oh, we can select too? What is this? Oh, that's where we started. Okay. It's fun looking back at all this. So there's our first one where we were found with a gun in our hand, but really the guy was poisoned. And then we had this one where we were locked in the wardrobe at the beginning. That one was quite interesting. And then we had the runaway room, where it was probably Mr. McGilded, but he got away with it until he died. And this one, where seemingly everything went okay with Mr. Natsume. And it was all a big accident. Now, I'm excited for this one because I'm looking at it now. And this is a very, very classic, maybe the most famous of the Sherlock Holmes original stories. I don't really remember what the conclusion is of it, but the Hound of the Baskervilles is definitely a famous one. And they sort of redid it in the Sherlock Holmes Netflix show, you know. And it's about a big hound. Or what is perceived to be a big hound, at least. So I guess we'll go and start with it. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white flame.
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was
White-hot
outlined
flames.
in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. "Look well, Wilson," Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. "For this is the diabolical Hound of the Baskervilles."
Lovely. I love these little scenes that we get when we occasionally get some actual voice acting, you know? It's good. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. Oh, so we're now 2 months in. After our last 2 cases took place over the course of like a week. And that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in that country. And in Sasake's terrible ordeal that followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court. There's another thing that I'm still curious about, is we have the second case where the lady got away with it, right? And we had Mr. McGilded's unfortunate end, which I think he may have faked his death or something, I don't know. But I'm curious about when those things are going to come up again, because it feels weird to just end up those without any follow-up, you know? So we'll see. Which is hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur and an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, till it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. Oh boy. 15th April, 9:13 a.m., Ryu's Legal Consultancy. So this should be in the attic, I think? Oh wow, it's all nice and decorated now? That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Sasato's behavior became very obviously strange. Sasato? Yes? Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see, what case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. Shall we go down to Mrs. Sholmes' suite? Yes. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. Oh, another thing, we still need to follow up on the Shakespeare guy that lived in our house. That was odd. Not in our house, but Mr. Natsume's house. And the Garridebs. Once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Alright. Alright. Let me see, what case is it today? Here we go again. Alright. Should we look around our room? There likely won't be any hints in here for a case or anything, but let's look. Spring at last, and the weather is warmer now. But I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising from the kettle. Oh, would you like some tea, Ryu? Thank you, Sasato, but I'm alright for now. The green tea Sasato makes me from time to time and Iris' unique herbal infusions. This place is paradise for a true tea lover. Green tea is such a wonderful accompaniment to British tea cakes, don't you think? So true. Alright, let's look at this desk. I've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already. You could tidy up once in a while. Sasato, I always say, making a mess is a small sacrifice to pay for being able to further your studies. Time spent tidying up is time you can't devote to the same cause. That sounds like total BS, you know? And time spent on ridiculous arguments is time that could be better spent on some simple housework. She's so right. Gee whiz, I'm supposed to be the lawyer here. Alright, what else? Anything else? Window? No. We can pan the camera, so we might... Oh, we have this down here. So this is a tea set that Susato brought with her from Japan. Let's hope she hasn't noticed me slipping sugar and milk into my cup when she makes it. It's just so bitter. Tea is a drink to be enjoyed, Ryu. You really don't have to force yourself to drink it, you know. I don't like to see you screw up your face, so. She's so nice. She's great. Alright, so that's all looked at. Let's turn over to the table. This must be the telegram. Let's see. Ah! No, you mustn't look at that. Not under any circumstances. Alright, I won't. I'm sorry, Ryu, but you can be very mischievous at times. Put the telegram away if you don't want people looking at it. Dude, what's in the telegram? What could be so important, you know? We were rather lucky to find that old aquarium left behind here. The prawns we put in there are doing rather well, and the anemones too. It's a wonderful invention, isn't it? The sea, behind glass, inside your room. It's actually kind of neat, believe it or not. I actually kind of like the idea of an aquarium. I've never really had one, but I like the idea. Another example of Great Britain's greatness. Having to clean it out and change the water isn't so great though, is it? So true. Alright, let's check the door. You know, I've never seen inside your room there, Susato. I've never even peeped inside. I should think so too. A young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know. Whatever you say, young maiden. That's funny. Alright, I think that's it for in here. I believe we have covered all of our bases. Yep. Great. Okay, so let's go back to... Can we move? Where would we move to? That's kind of curious. Let's see if there's any options already. Oh yeah, go to Sholmes' suite for breakfast. Let's see if there's anything else she wants to talk about first. Yeah, the telegram. So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean. Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. Dude, we know what you're talking about. Sorry, but you're not gonna get away with that. Well, I didn't think I would. Come on, just tell me. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing. Nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. It was just a boring old telegram. That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. Yeah, I don't believe her for a second. I promise I'll tell you about it at some point. Alright, I understand. I suppose Soseki will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he? Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. A fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him. Do you remember? Complaining of seasickness? By and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Uh-oh. Something wrong, Ryu? Just wondering what might have become of Soseki had he stayed in London, that's all. You mean, as regards Lord Van Zeeks, the Reaper? Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. Dude, what if he's actually been poisoned, you know? What is it they say, that no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Yeah, there's Mr. McGilded's death. Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Soseki is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps? Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. The legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. When you think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zeeks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Oh? Yeah, since Soseki's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. That's really odd, isn't it? We need to find out what his deal is. Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials then? Ah, just my luck. I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. Sorry, what was that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Yeah, like what if we get another case and then he comes back, you know? What if he's involved with us, you know? Alright, let's go to Mr. Sholmes' suite, see if we can get that breakfast. Sholmes' suites. Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie. I love the music, huh? I'm assuming that's Sholmes playing. Good morning, Iris. Iris? What is it, Runo? What is that terrible noise? Sounds like a cat being strangled. Yes. You noticed that, did you? Yeah, he's not great, huh? Hurley isn't in the best form this morning, it seems. He's distracted by something. Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes? Good morning. I wonder if he's hungover. A good morning to die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. He's so depressing. Damn this blanched existence. Alright, buddy. That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. I'm afraid I don't understand. Just asking someone to elaborate when they say they're feeling terrible is not the best idea, honestly. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble. Cat. Look, it's a fully animated cat. Oh look, it's Wagahai. Good morning, boy. That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. Dude, Ryu is so sharp. I can't believe he realized that was a tiny door. How did it get there? Well then everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. It would indeed be a fine day to die. I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mrs. Sholmes' desk. What's missing? I didn't notice. Let's examine it. Pow. What's missing over here? Look at Mrs. Sholmes' desk. It's completely clear. Isn't that enormous machine usually on it? We can never hope to understand what goes on in the great detective's mind, Mr. Ryu. Why, next time we're invited, we may find he's vacated the entire suite. That's scarily plausible, actually. Alright. What else should we look at? Chair. Globe. There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment. Oh, it's such a charmingly untidy collection of paraphernalia, isn't it? This looks messy to me, like my desk. But you, Mr. Ryu, must learn to tidy up after yourself. Dude, she's so enamored with Holmes, it's hilarious. Like, the double standards are crazy. Fire's burning comfortably in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow. Oh, look at that photographic print of a lady displayed on the mantelpiece. Could it be Irene Adler? Yes, it must be. It's the woman. Oh, how exciting. That's supposed to mean something to me? Yeah. What else? This stuff, hourglass, and cards. These are all mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases, I think. If you'd been involved in my case, I wonder if the beef and steak from La Carnival would be on display here. A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing men, a bust of Napoleon. Ah, what an entrancing collection. Looks like an untidy assortment of junk to me, like what's on my own shelves. Well, you really ought to learn to keep your things in order, Mr. Ryu. No favoritism there at all. Yep, same thing again. Yeah. Let's look at this coffee table thing. / trunk. Looks like that metal chest is being used as a table for tea and coffee. Seems very sturdy with an equally sturdy lock. Mr. Ryu, you mustn't go around opening things. I always have to keep an eye on you, don't I? You're very mischievous. How'd you come to that conclusion? Alright. So, I think we just look at to the right again now. Wow, this is her side of the room. Tea set? Iris's beautiful tea set is there on the table as usual. A cup of one of her special herbal blends always helps me to relax when I'm feeling the strain. The English pastime of tea has many similarities with our own tea ceremony customs, don't you think? It's the idea of hospitality behind it, that's the essence of tea. Dude, I hope Susato never dies, that would make me sad. There's some math equations about something. This is where Iris notes down ideas, isn't it? Let's see, what does it say today? Ah, the Boscombe Valley Mystery. Oh, how intriguing. It must be the title of Iris's latest work. Oh my, I wonder what fantastic tale awaits us. Sato looks like an angel, but I bet she's dreaming of the most unsavory crime you could imagine. So funny to think about the people who are so sweet on the outside, but love listening to murder mystery podcasts and stuff like that, or true crime shows, Not that there's anything wrong with that, I just love the juxtaposition of it, That's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems. Science is the future, Mr. Ryu, you can't deny it. I'm saving my money so I can buy some chemistry apparatus as well. Law, chemistry, takedown throws, what diverse skills you boast, Mr. Sato. Sounds like sarcasm, yeah? Useful as they are, I'm not sure that my throwing skills are worthy of inclusion in that list. Dude, she's such a good thrower though, What's next? I guess we'll do the typewriter. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Iris doing much writing recently. There's paper already set up in the typewriter, look, as if she's about to start. That reminds me, when I mentioned that Iris was in the process of writing a full-fledged novel, Mr. Natsume was most impressed. Oh yes, Mr. Natsume, yes, he was going to go write his own novel. That's what I'll be doing too, once I'm back in Japan, he said through tightly clenched fists and teeth. Yeah. Our cute chair, no. Nothing over here to look at. It seems like we've looked at everything. Lamp. Okay, let's look at Iris now. Wagahai, the cat. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home then. Oh yes, and I've become very attached to little Waggy. It would appear his previous owner has completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews as empty as the hearts of the muses. How poetic is that? That poor cat. Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan. I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could. The pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience. Very true. And for good reason, terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable. Yeah, Waggy's a pretty cute cat. Yes, he really is. Oh yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from? Oh, you notice? You are observant, Runo. Look, I used this. It's my latest invention. What is that? Oh my goodness, the whimsical music. I call it the cat flapomat. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right, it can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see. Wouldn't it have been quicker just to make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap? Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like. Oh, I think it's wonderful. Gosh, what a Willy Wonka-ass invention, you know? She wants one for the office upstairs. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Alright. Let's go back now. Verse. Wanting to die. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its mellissonant tones would make flowers bloom. It would. But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavored, to no avail. That sound? Oh, I wonder if it was bowed, not bowed. Ah, my tone is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone. Gone forever. No more recitals of unbridled emotion. He's so depressing. It's so sad. Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? Don't worry, I'm sure it'll come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Ryu. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man. The next, they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh dear. Ah, why is this happening to me? They take the turn I have for the violin from me. What is left, for pity's sake? What is left, dude? He used to look so jubilant with this pose. He had the biggest smile. Oh, he is so sad. I hate that. Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? Yeah. So that's about the missing machine. Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today. Ah, well done, Miss Sasato. Your observational skills do you credit. Oh, no, Mr. Sholmes. They pale in insignificance compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's great analytic scope? That's at Sorry, it's at a Windy Bank? No, Windy Banks, the pawnbrokery. They had to sell it? Oh no. Oh no. You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see, quite undeservingly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Dear madam, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? Yeah, explain pawnbroking to us. What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Banks? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week. And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious! So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windybanks, you see? Pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Dude, I am so ready to get and do whatever the case is. I'm curious about what the significance of all of this is, though. You know. What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. He's so sad. Poor guy. Uh-oh. Oh, what was that? Wagahai? Dude. What was that? Oh no! Wagahai's tangled up in your violin! Oh gosh, the hijinks. Oh my goodness. I think he thinks it's a toy. No, what's he doing to it? Oh, is he gonna destroy the violin? Oh dear, Mr. Sholmes' precious violin. Why should I care? What? I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is a more accomplished musician than I now. Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley? Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Alright. Where's it at? It looks fine. So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. Doesn't really look like anything special to me. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you. And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there a reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? No, there is none. This guy just needs an iPod, man. Sorry. Mr. Sholmes? What, dear madam, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine. Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think? Hmm? What do you mean, Mrs. Sato? Oh, Susie's right. Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different. That's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? Dude, he's hyped. We have a mystery now. The violin was swapped out somehow. I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all. Then what? I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola. What? That's why his sound was all messed up, because the instrument was swapped out. You're right, you're quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your faithful performing partner, then. Ah, I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. Sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. Dude, what could have happened? Alright, we have to examine her, I guess. What do you mean by a mix-up, Iris? Well, you see, this viola, I mean, was at Windibank's until last week. At the pawnbroker's. Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. I feel like Ryu just does not actually really care, you know? There is a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel. Is he gonna act like this was on purpose? I would love that. Yes, indeed. So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea. It's a stupid idea. Last week I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windibank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. My ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. Oh, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. Fine state of affairs this is. Why I always say, Mr. Ryu, never trust a pawnbroker, they will try to fiddle you every time. Hilarious, good pun. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbroker as an extremely secure vault. Exactly. He's full of it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Come, Mr. Ryu, dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, pressing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced? Oh god, he really wants to make this into a thing. Why do we have to go with him? That doesn't make sense. He can do this himself. We must visit Mr. Windibank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? Precisely, Mr. Sato. Without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect to press your egg ever more obtusely. Alright, say no more. Let's go then. Don't worry, Bruno. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbrokers look like. Okay. I think, actually, 2 new locations. Baker Street. So this is just the street itself. That's interesting. And then the pawnbrokery. And that's also on Baker Street. Interesting. Okay, so this is actually where we're going to hit today. We're going to cut out a little early today because I think we're at just a good stopping spot. And yeah, I'm really curious about how this is going to tie into the Hound of the Baskervilles. Because so far it seems wholly unrelated, you know? But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you comment. Make sure you take care of others. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. All that beautiful stuff. And yeah, I will see you next time. Peace out.